Hi, Whitney Ebert here, and I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about how to get your kid to do certain behaviors that you really want them to do. Because let's face it, our kids don't always, when we ask them to do something or if we tell them to do something, they don't always do it. And this can be annoying and frustrating, especially if you're telling your child to be patient or to keep trying even when things are tough or challenging. But they don't always listen to us. So the best way that you can help your child to shape their behaviors and to get them to act in certain ways that you want is to model it for them. Be the model. Show them the behaviors, like actually live it. So for instance, if you want your child to be patient, then you need to model showing patience, especially if you are, stopped at a light, or if you're doing something and you're feeling super impatient, try to model that patience for them. I'm reading the book Grit by Duckworth, and it's awesome. It's so amazing and so inspiring. And today I was reading about this study that they had done with young children, where the young children would watch their parent go into the room, and the children would watch their parent play with toys. And then afterward, the child would get to go in and play with the toys. And what they found was, if the parent went in and let's say there was Tinker Toys and the parent went in and, built with the Tinker Toys and played calmly with the Tinker Toys, then the child would go in and do the same thing. And I guess there was two different types of toys, like maybe Tinker Toys and then like a doll. And, often the children would ignore the doll if the parents had just played with the Tinker Toys. But then the children, if the children watched their parent go in, and if the parent went in and then maybe played with the Tinker Toys for a little bit, but then would go over to the doll and would get like really angry and aggressive and would like throw the doll around and like punch the doll and kick the doll and hit it and act really violent toward the doll, and then the parent would leave and then the child would get to go in and play with the toys, they found that, not surprising, the child would do almost exactly the same thing. They were a lot more violent. So if the parent was calm and went in and played calmly with the toys, the child tended to go in and play calmly with the toys. If the parent was violent with the toys, then the child would be violent with the toys. So I had this quote, and I loved it. It's from the author and activist James Baldwin. And it says, "Children have never been very good at listening to their elders, but they have never failed to imitate them." So this just shows us that it's so true. You can tell your child all day, don't do this or do this, but they are looking to us and they're watching us and they're watching to see what we're doing and how we're acting. So it's really important that we model the behaviors that we want. A couple of tips. So it's lead by example. And so as I said, they're constantly watching us. Think about like your cell phone and how often you're on your cell phone. And so try to be present when your kids are around. If you're always on your cell phone, what do you think when your kids get older and they have a cell phone, what do you think they're going to be doing? They're going to be on it as well. So just think about always trying to lead by example. And it's not always easy, especially if there's behaviors in your child that you notice that it's like a weakness in you. I mean, does that ever happen to you? Because it happens to me all the time where I'm like, oh, it drives me crazy you do this. And I'm like, well, it's something that I do. So it's something that I know, okay, I have to work on this thing that I do. Like for me, I really don't like being late. And I get really stressed out and really frazzled if I'm late, and I get frustrated. I'm like, okay, come on, we gotta like hurry. And I'm starting to notice with my child too, like with Brewer, he'll sometimes act like that. And I'm like, okay, no, I need to calm down. I need to be like, okay, if we're going to be late, we're going to be late, but I can't get worked up about it. And so that's something that I'm working on. So it's hard to model the behaviors when we already, like if it's something, a fault of ours. And so if you think about behaviors you want your child to have, if you want them to have perseverance, or if you want them to have patience, or you want them to have grit, whatever it is, whatever behaviors you really want to see in your child, then it's really important that you kind of focus on modeling it. And not only that, focus on pointing it out to your child. If you are doing something that's challenging and you're really working through a challenge, share that with your child. Say, hey, you know what, I'm working on this right now. This is really hard, but I'm gonna keep trying, and I keep messing up and it's not working, but I'm gonna keep trying. I'm not gonna give up. and talk to them about it, because a lot of times they might look at you and they might think that everything comes easily, and it's good to share with them that no, some things are hard for me, this and like this is difficult, but I'm going to work through it, or I failed at this, I didn't do well, but guess what, I'm going to keep trying. So if you want your child to do that, then make sure you're modeling it for them and talking to them about it. Lead by example. Think about the behaviors that you really want your child to have and to do, and make sure that you are actively modeling those, but also talk to them about it. Share when you're doing it. Point it out if you're doing something that you really want them to do, so that they're aware and they can notice it more. Oh, if you haven't been over to blimeybox.com and checked it out yet, we have so many cool things over there. We have blogs all about different tips on, helping parents to, make small changes so that you can have a really positive impact on your child's learning. We also have our Blimey Box games, which are the brain games to help kids think outside of the box. And we have a couple free downloads over there. And yeah, so head on over to blimeybox.com and check it out. Thank you for joining me today. It's been great talking with you, and go out there and model some of those positive behaviors for your child. All right, I will talk to you later. Bye.